Okay, beginning our day. It's the 13th of September, 2024. And sometimes it's nice when the Sangha goes on these trips, like the part of the Sangha has left to go to Portland and visit Pacific Hermitage and attend their annual Papa ceremony. And yeah, it's very nice, I think, sometimes just to get back into a smaller community and have a slower routine. And during this period, we haven't had morning and evening pujas, although tomorrow there will be an evening puja. And so it's certainly not the case that monasteries always have pujas, or that they should always have pujas even, because Abhayagiri exists for the training of monastics. And so for those of us who are living here 24/7, and our practice is our life, and it's good to have these periods where there's less pujas, less structure, and it allows us to spend time on our own and gather ourselves and recharge our batteries, and then we can start having pujas again after the next Wanpra, the next Lunar Observance Day cycle. So it's good to change up the schedule like this, and Lumpur Cha would do that as well. With Ajahn Man, the schedule would change sometimes as well. Sometimes they would do these really harrowing kind of puja schedules. They'd have evening puja at 8 p.m., and then morning puja at 3 a.m. So, and then tasks and duties through the day, so having alms round, and then sweeping and various tasks around the monastery. So it was a very hard schedule, but then it would change to be completely open. But the hope is that the monastics gain that ingrained habit of practicing in a certain way. And the important thing with practice is that we develop something that we keep going on our own when nobody's watching us. We keep the practice going on our own, and then we really start to develop. We really benefit when that's the case, when we're able to actually practice on our own and push ourselves a bit, even when we're on our own. When nobody's watching, nobody's going to notice what we're doing. It's only us that's going to notice. But we will have a wholesome sense of pride when we are able to keep our practice going. For example, doing some meditation when there's no puja, rather than just collapsing or just completely taking it easy. This is very, very important. And then we can truly develop. And then sometimes we just acknowledge that we need the structure. We need the pujas, the structure. So I know some monks will make the determination to always do morning and evening chanting, even on their own. And that's a very good thing to do. So when there's no pujas, actually doing at least a little bit of chanting on our own. And we don't need to necessarily make a big show of it, like go into the hall and chant loudly on our own, but actually just having a personal practice that we can sustain for months, years, and even a lifetime. This is very, very important. And this is what Master Xuan Hua talked about, is holding a practice. So if you just do a practice from time to time, you're not really holding it. But if you do a certain practice every day, then you're said to be holding the practice, and you're holding to it. And that's what training is. When it becomes automatic, that's training. So when we default to that, even when we're distracted, when we fall back we'll fall back to the low level that we'll fall to is the level of our training. When we're distracted, when we're working, when we're interacting with people, we're going to fall back on our training, whatever our training is, whatever level the training has taken us to. So yeah, just good to have these things that we do when we're on our own, have these practices that we're able to do all the time. And even if for guests, if you return home, then to have some sort of bowing or chanting, even if it's just 5, 10, 20 minutes a day, then actually being able to sustain that each day is very, very important. It'll create a framework, a wholesome framework for our lives. Is that her reflection this morning?